Okay. I'm gonna start over with second floor.
Secure the bombs.
Okay.
10 seconds to insertion.
On this
seconds.
objective,
Keep an eye
I'm
out
gonna
for
start
Op
out
4
with what
attempting to
Valkyrie
defuse your
should be
bombs.
doing, because we're gonna have a Valk on here. Valkyrie should be setting up a camera somewhere in the solarium, so this will make it easier to see where attackers are coming from. Make sure not to constantly active ping with the Valkyrie cams, and instead try to do yellow pings, like that, instead of going on the camera and scanning. Because then the attackers will know that they're being pinged. However, then your Valkyrie is going to throw an impact on that wall, and an impact on this wall. Your next camera is going to be put on somewhere out here on this office balcony, either up here in these rafters, maybe over here, really up to wherever your Valkyrie wants to put it. This is to let you know where attackers are coming from. Then your Valkyrie's third and final camera. You have two locations you can put it here. You can either put it somewhere outside here, or you can put it over in this hallway somewhere. And one thing that you could, in theory, do is you try and put it somewhere over here, so that way it catches outside and also inside. And what I mean by that, why I want this outside area to be scanned, is so that way if anybody tries pushing in through here, we'll know. And then, like, our castle or our smoke can handle that. Another thing you could do is moving your camera that is outside there, and instead opting to move it into this hallway. Then what your Valkyrie is going to do after placing up all the cameras is set up in this corner of the office. Okay. Then, let's say, since you guys are going to have a mute, let me talk about what Mute's going to be doing. Mute's going to come through here, jammer there, come through here. Probably going to want to put a jammer on that wall. And then the final jammer can really go anywhere. It doesn't matter that much. But you could place it like there or there to try and prevent people from scoping things out. So that's how you would play that. You could also put your jammer there, just basically on any of the entry points. Your mute is then going to go ahead and reinforce these two walls, and then we'll proceed to roam for the rest of the game. Okay. Next up, our, what do you call it? Smoke. Our smoke is going to be setting up over here in this closet area. And what smoke's going to do is reinforce this entire corner. While Mute is getting his other jammer set up for Valkyrie. And also a note for the Valkyrie player, try and throw up your cams towards the later end of the round setup phase. If you place them too early, players like Twitch or just anybody with a drone will be able to identify where your cameras are and destroy them on the way in. And Twitch especially will screw you over since you can instantly destroy electric gadgets. Then your smoke can either place a barbed wire around this area, like in that corner, or you can place a barbed wire around, what do you call it? Around here, in the middle of this hallway. The next player that you're going to be having here, and if your smoke decides to run a deployable shield instead, set it up along this hallway to try and block any incoming shots from there. Or you can set it up over in this area, so that way you can safely peek this door behind the shield and then throw one of your smoke things there or there. Then you're going to have a castle. What castle's going to do, castle is going to reinforce this, is probably also going to come around here, reinforce this. Or actually, there's another thing we can do with castle here. Castle can reinforce this door as well. Right here. Reinforce that. Reinforce this. Castle's gonna come around here. Already put one of the barricades up on that window, and is now gonna put up another one here. And what this effectively does, our smoke now can walk around this entire area pretty much safely. The only angle that they might have to worry about is this one. And they can always just retreat back out this way behind cover. And if our smoke ever needs to rotate, smoke can go here, smoke can go this way. It just gives your smoke a lot more survivability. And the reason why I had the barricade set up on the library hallway and the mezzanine window is because now your Valkyrie can hear when somebody's coming from this side. They can use one of their cameras that's here. And since it takes about like 9 punches to destroy, your Valkyrie can scan the people who are there, and then maybe, since Valkyrie is going to be holding in this position, can come around this way and then go on a tear. Or it can just throw out a piece of C4 and then blow them up. Your Valkyrie is going to be playing in this area, over in the office. Her main job is going to be patrolling this, just looking down here, and trying not to get shot from that far away, which your smoke's job is going to be covering that angle. And also, Valkyrie's job is going to be patrolling this balcony. Castle's job is going to be protecting all the in-between areas. Your castle's going to be playing around here in the master bathroom, sometimes moving over to piano. If your castle really wants to, they can come around this corner and help your Valkyrie take control of that. And the whole reason why we have a castle barricade in here is to make it a long walk. So either you have to make it very loudly announce that you're coming in through here, or you have to take a long engagement from the staircase or from the other room. I forgot the name of it. The library entrance. You're then gonna have one last barricade, which you're gonna have to throw up here. And then you're gonna have a roamer, or like just literally a roamer. A Caveira, a Pulse, a Bandit, or a Jaeger. Any of those 4 are going to be your second roamer. Your first shallow roamer is probably going to be Mute. And what Mute can do, Mute can set up in the library room. Mute can set up in the kitchen downstairs. And he's just going to be holding any potential angles and then pushing in from the back side of any enemies that might come through. Yeah. And then your second roamer, that Pulse Jaeger Bandit person, they're going to be just patrolling, doing roamer things. They don't really have a lot of setup. If they do, that person's just going to help, like, reinforce this, reinforce that. Just help wherever they can and then leave. If you have a Jaeger, place an ADS there. Place an ADS around here. Place an ADS here. And then place your final ADS around here. You can move one of your ADSs, like the one from that corner. You could probably move that one to around here to try and give your castle some protection as well. But that's how you're gonna want to set up on second. Keep in mind, it's going to be your castle's job to stop any potential, like, master bathroom breaches into the room where your smoke is holding. That's the primary job of the castle player. And the reason why I mention that is because one of the mute jammers has to be on the big window of the master bedroom. So that way, like, any breach charges or anything won't go. They have to have a sledge player in order to get through that window. Or they need to spend like 15,000 years announcing their arrival by punching it to death. On this objective, I'm probably gonna want a mute, Jaeger, an Ella, an Echo, and I don't know who my last one is going to be entirely yet, but I was thinking maybe a Mira. And I'll show you why I think all of that. Okay. I'm gonna start out with how Mira's gonna set up.
Left. 5 seconds to insertion.
Your Mira is
Bomb
gonna
locations
reinforce
are
these
secure.
walls. Then it's gonna come around through here. It's going to reinforce this. And reinforce these middle walls. Your Mira is going to be spending a lot of time on point. The way that your Mira is going to want to play this, and also you should probably put a final reinforcement on this wall. You have one mirror window on here, and you have another one on here. This gives you like backside control. Like, you can look down this angle if you need to and stay protected from both sides. You can look down this angle if you need to. But it also gives you the opportunity to look into the other objective. For some reason that will not destroy. So you have the ability to look into here now and shoot anybody coming through there. And you can do another off angle from here. Your mute player is probably going to be set up here, and your other person is probably going to be playing here. Your mute, by the way, is going to come through here, reinforce this wall. Mute jammer, mute jammer, mute jammer, and mute jammer. If your mute can manage it throughout all of that reinforcing, your mute's going to be going up onto the high ground here, and then reinforcing this hatch right above A. Or no, right above B. My bad. But just reinforcing these two hatches. We could, in theory, run a Kaid as well to try and electrocute those two hatches, which I'm actually debating doing. Because then you can... Okay. So I'm gonna change this up a bit. You have a Mira, a Mute, a Kaid, a Legion, and for your final person, some sort of roamer, maybe a Pulse, maybe a Caveira. Or you can have a Jaeger as well. Kaid's gonna throw one of his electric sticks around here to try and hit the hatch and the wall. Your Mute Jammer's gonna go on there, Mute Jammer on there, Mute Jammer is gonna go around here as well, and then there. Or no, there. My bad. The one that is supposed to go by that doorway moves over here. But that's how you're gonna want to do that. And then your other Kaid stick goes on the other hatch that is right in here. And that's basically how you're gonna want to do this. Your Mute's gonna be holding this angle. Your, what do you call it? Your Mira's holding this. Your Kaid can hold this, or it can even hold over here if they want to. Over here. Just anywhere on this, what do you call it? North side of the bar. Your Legion player is probably going to end up being a roamer, or they can trade places with your Mute. They're going to be setting up mines like right around this staircase and around this hallway. And the reason for that is, like, say your Kaid is holding in the bar. They come in here, and then there's a little audio cue. It's very faint, but you can hear it. Even if somebody is crouching and they walk into a Legion mine, you can hear it. So the person might be tempted to go ahead and take it out. Then your Kaid can come out and shoot them. Or if they decide to keep walking, now they have limited movement speed because of the goo mine, and they're constantly taking damage. So it just gives your Kaid more of an advantage. Your Kaid is holding there, so your Mira can look there and look there as well. And your Kaid's job is just holding down this room, more or less. Your Legion player is going to be coming out here, or your Mute if your Legion decides to stay on point. They'll be holding up here somewhere. Probably not on this mezzanine itself. Maybe in the library, maybe in the library entrance. But just somewhere on this staircase, so if people try coming in through main, you shoot them. People try coming in from basement stairs, you shoot them. And if anybody tries taking any of the hatches, stuff like that. But that's going to be your primary job as, like, the Legion. And then you're going to have an extra roamer. If you're going to have that extra roamer, I'd recommend hiding somewhere in kitchen. And since you're probably going to have something or a shotgun, open up that hatch for yourself. So that way if anybody tries coming through, you can hear them, take a little bit of engagement, and then you can just dip. And then then your attackers have to go all the way, like, through this area, or they have to drop down the hatch and chase you all the way through the wine cellar. And you're just wasting time there. But that's how you're going to want to set up on there. Okay, what's the other's one floor hold location? Kitchen? Alright. Kitchen's a bit of a pain.
Secure the area. Keep the bombs protected.
Let me just take a
10
quick look
seconds
at this
remaining.
objective.
5 seconds and counting. Bomb locations are secure.
I want a Legion, a Valkyrie, a Thunderbird, a Jaeger, and a Mute. Here's how we're gonna play this. Step one, open up the map. You might end up needing it. Your Thunderbird is gonna come in this corner, reinforce these 4 walls. And then you're gonna place a Kona station right around here, where it's out of line of sight. Your next Kona station should go somewhere over in this back area by this bar in the kitchen. And then your third one, I haven't fully decided on how I'm gonna want this played out, because we could try taking kitchen hallway by having somebody set up on the trophy stairs / solarium area, and also having a person set up in the west main entrance. But no matter which one we end up deciding to do, just try and place your last one near this wall in kitchen. Or you can set it up over here by west main entrance. It depends on how much space we end up taking. Right. You're gonna have a mute. Mute's gonna put a jammer there, a jammer there, a jammer on that wall. And I was debating if he should also put a jammer on this wall right here. And I'm thinking that he should. So, yeah. The mute's gonna come here, reinforce this. Reinforce this. Start setting up all of your jammers. Your Thunderbird is gonna come here and impact this wall. Make sure it's running height. And then your Mute is gonna come here and reinforce these walls. Right. Then the other thing that we're gonna need to do, that's gonna annoy me. We could have an extra person holding in this dining room area. And the way I was thinking of doing that is we have a crossfire. Basically, we have one person set up on the trophy staircase, maybe a Valkyrie or something. They're gonna be watching this angle. If they ever need to dip, they run away. If we don't want a Valkyrie on here, we could end up running a, what do you call it? A Caveira or a Bandit on this wall. You're gonna want to not reinforce these and actually leave it be. So that way your person on the staircase can, like, the reason why I was saying Valkyrie is so you can throw up one of your cameras into this room. They're holding, like, upstairs here in the master bathroom. They jump down here. They see who's in there. They shoot. And if anybody's trying to come through this door, they can wait a little bit and jump them from the back and then run. Whatever you do on these characters, whenever you're holding a position like this, you don't need to guarantee the kill. If you can one-shot headshot them, that's great. But just taking a quick engagement and throwing them off their guard, that's your primary job. Because if you stay here too long, might be like 1, 2, 3 people coming down here, and they are going to roll you in a 1-on-3 gunfight. Even if you knock one of them, that doesn't matter because the other 2 will kill you. So if you can just like get one person to half HP and then run away, and then come back later and then do the same thing and finish them, that's fine. If you can one-shot headshot somebody, that's fine. That's great. But it's not your primary job to kill somebody, it's to deal damage and like grab their attention. So we're probably gonna have a Valkyrie there. What did I say I was gonna do here? A Valkyrie, Thunderbird, Mute, Jaeger. I forgot who my last person was gonna be. Might end up being Kaid. Probably Kaid. But anyways. Your Valkyrie person, set up a camera in here. In this general room. Set up another camera around this area. So that way we have an idea of who's pushing into the room. And then your final one should be going outside. So if you come up here and you tear down this barricade, as soon as the round starts, you throw out your thing onto like that lamppost, and then you barricade again. No one will be the wiser. And now you'll have an extra line of sight outside of the objective. And considering that there's like a window right here, there's people that might be coming in through the top, having those 3 cams is really important. Then you're gonna come through here, you're gonna reinforce the hatch that is right in here. So that way your Kaid can electro stick that. If your Kaid wishes to electro stick something else, tell them that they should probably put up an electro stick here, so that way you can have a mute jammer here, you can have a mute jammer in here to stop extra drones coming through the doorway, and this little thing that's through there. I'm not sure if you can see it. And then you can have a mute jammer in here, and then the final jammer here. Yeah, so Thunderbird, Valkyrie, Kaid, Mute, and then Jaeger. Jaeger is going to be holding like this line of sight over here. Is going to be holding this. If we don't want a Jaeger, we can replace it with a Mira or an Aruni to try and keep this sort of pressure. But what's going to end up happening, your Thunderbird's going to be holding in this location. Your Jaeger is going to be holding here. Your Kaid is going to be holding in here. You're going to have a Valkyrie upstairs. You're going to have a Mute roaming. And that's how we're going to do this. Also, you've probably noticed how this wall is not reinforced. And that's for a reason. Not only are the hatches that need to be reinforced more important in this area. Like, one second. Let me go back to what I was saying earlier. We have the hatch that is in the objective that needs to be reinforced. That is like no exceptions on that. The only wall that I can imagine us taking off is maybe this one, but that's necessary for your Jaeger to be able to hold this angle. So at the very most, you can reinforce this or this wall in kitchen. Probably this one. So that way, if your Jaeger is holding this angle and they need to go back and grab some healing, they're still mostly covered. Then they can grab some healing from the Kona and come here. Or they can rotate back around here and grab this Kona by the Thunderbird, and you can Thunderbird trick. But yeah. Or you can have a Mira. You have a Mira window set up on there. And you have another Mira window set up on here around crouch height. And that gives you an extra amount of LOS into this room. Gives you more like advantages. Because this wall, when it has the thing in it, you'll be able to see down this hallway. It's not to actually help you see into the west main entrance room. It's to help you see the main point that people are trying to push. But yeah, that's that. Another thing we could end up doing is that one of the mirror windows that we put up for the Kaid, we can put it up and then take it down and put it where the Thunderbird is going to be. So that way Thunderbird knows who's trying to... Alright, let's do this in basement. Okay. So, I'm gonna start off with what Mute needs to do. Mute's gonna place a jammer on here, on there, place one on there, and your final one is gonna be placed right around here-ish. And the primary job of Mute, since he's gonna be staying on the objective, he's gonna set up his jammers to try and stop drones from coming in. That's his first job. Then what your Mute's gonna do, he's gonna reinforce these 4 walls in the wine cellar. Next up, you're going to have a Kapkan. Kapkan's really going to spend most of this round setting up his traps and destroying drones. However, just to make your Mute's job a little easier, he will be reinforcing the snowmobile garage. And then we'll proceed to impact grenade this. And that's really how Kapkan's going to be setting up here. Your Kapkan is going to be playing around this part of the wine cellar. Your Mute is going to be playing around, around about here, wherever he wants to. Or he can set up around these angles. It really depends on where he wants to be. But then you're going to have a support operator. This can be either a Mira, a Thunderbird, a Rook, an Echo, a Smoke, whatever you want them to do. And they're going to be reinforcing this. They'll set up one of their things in this corner. They're going to be setting up another one of their things around this. And then they're going to set up one of their things around about, in there. And your primary job on this objective, if you have, a Mira, is to play in the wine cellar and control the garage from the wine cellar. Because it's a very open room. With a good Mira window placement, you can just see what's going on in there. You know when to take an engagement. If you have a Thunderbird, you're going to set up a little differently. You're going to have your Thunderbird set up on this wall of the snowmobile garage. Then you're going to end up having, if you have somebody else, like a Rook, or even your Thunderbird themselves, or a Doc, they can set up in here. They can set up here. It's really up to them. If your support player decides to play here, your mute can go ahead and roam. They're not needed on point. However, they do need to stay long enough to move all of their mute jammers. The first mute jammer movement goes from here to there. The second one goes from there over to there. You keep the one that you placed around here. You might move it a little to the left to keep that. And then your final mute jammer is probably going to go somewhere around here to try and stop drones from coming in. Or you can Spider-Man your way up here. Wait, I screwed that up. Or you can Spider-Man your way up here. And you can try placing a drone on here. Or not a drone, a jammer of drones up here. Why will you not work, game? Let me vault. Whatever. Just trust me when I say that it's possible to do this. Because I was doing it just a second ago, but now the game hates me. Bruh. Anyways. Just try placing one of your jammers near here to try and hit that hatch. Alright. So we covered your Capcan, your mute who might be roaming, your support player is going to be playing in there. You're going to probably have somebody like an Aruni, a Jaeger, or a Mozzie holding over this way. If your support player has the ability to pick a deployable shield, pick a deployable shield and place it in here. So that way your person who is like holding this angle from over here knows what they're doing. You could also have a Valkyrie play over here. So Valkyrie, Jaeger, Mozzie, or Aruni. If you're running a Valkyrie, keep a camera in this room. If you're another camera placement you can do, if you decide to run upstairs, this is a wrong staircase. But if you decide to go up the staircase in the garage, you can really do your team a solid by coming over here, opening up this, and then placing one of your cameras on that snowmobile. Since it's black, whenever it's turned off, it'll blend in with the black parts of the snowmobile. And the ability that it gives to your team, it allows them to see who's pushing in through these angles. And that's what your Valk's job is going to be. The last place you can put your Valkyrie cam is somewhere along this hallway, maybe up in this corner, to see who's coming in through staircase. Or you can, and then you'll be sitting over here. If you have a Jaeger, your Jaeger is going to set up an ADS in this corner. Going to set up an ADS right behind this snowmobile, and is going to set up their final ADS over on this area, like around this corner or this wall, just somewhere where it can eat any throwable shot out through there or from there. So maybe over here, is really up to you. You can even put one right here and stick it up on this wall so you can't see it from anywhere, but it still eats any projectiles thrown at your support who's anchoring here. If you're running an Aruni is going to put up one of her things on there, is going to throw one of her things on the hatch right here, even though it's going to be reinforced, and then is going to throw her final one right here. Or actually, no. Yes. Right here between Wine Cellar and Blue Hallway. So that's your 3 Aruni spots. And yeah, that's pretty much the 3 players that might be holding over there. If you have anybody else, set up as you please. But the final person, am I forgetting anybody? You have a Valkyrie on roam. You have a mute, a support player, a Capcan on the objective, and then you're gonna have like one person who's holding over here. No, wait. And then for the roamer that I'm gonna want, since we already have a person here who could flex over to roaming, the last person that I'm gonna want, the roamer, your job is to reinforce the 2 hatches, one in kitchen and the other that is in the living room. This is probably gonna be like an Ella, a Legion, who else? A Bandit, a Caveira. Somebody who can hold their own and isn't 100% needed on the objective. Just so that way you can get these 2 hatches done. And here's how this is gonna play out. If somebody tries coming in through here, you have a Valkyrie cam outside that can tell your team where everybody is. This will allow your support player who's sitting in this corner, the Echo who can set up yokai in this room and over in the hallway outside there, outside the wine cellar. You can have a Miru who sets up a window here and can set up another window on there. You can have a Thunderbird who sets up a healing station over there for your mute, healing station over here, a healing station over here for your Kapkan. If you have a Doc can just see both mute and Kapkan without much difficulty. If you're running a Kaid, you can throw one of your things up on here, and you can throw another one on the wall back here to try and give some extra protection, or you can throw it over there. And if you do decide to throw your second thing up here and you're running an Aruni, tell your Aruni to move this Surya gate that you put up there and tell her to instead place it somewhere over here, like on this wall. Or to place it over here in the storage room thing. But I think placing them up on the snowmobile garage instead is going to be much more valuable. Because you can instead like set up a Kapkan trap here and your 2 Aruni gates over there on the big wall. Yeah, so that's how you're going to play basement.